folks, and welcome back to another episode of Pinal Prep Spotlight, brought to you by 911 Air Repair, your local air conditioning expert specializing in maintenance, repair, and new installations. We are back. We're going to do the same thing we did last week with our baseball teams. We are going to be talking softball this week. And normally I'm super upbeat, excited about this season. However, right now, I know we only have like a handful of actual games that matter under our belts. Teams are just kind of dusting off their cobwebs with all these tournament games going on. Spring break is also happening right now. Last week, next week, it's a wide spectrum because nobody really has the same spring break at all of our many schools. So we are trying to figure out our footing. But what I can say right now is that, hey, our pitching is not going to be the best this season. Gone are the days of Michaela Gilger, Jessica Mercado, Alyssa Tinnon, Lindsay Lopez. All that is in the past, and hey, all these young pitchers are coming up, and like I mentioned it, they're young, they're going to struggle, we're going to struggle covering them, teams are going to struggle, defenses, it's just going to be one big struggle. But hey, bright side here is that we're building towards the future. We're excited to see where these teams will end up eventually. But right now, David, what do you have your kind of eye on, I guess you could say?
My eye is just on the whole spectrum as a whole, because it really, like you said, it's kind of a gray area right now on who's going to be our teams that are going to step up this year. We kind of have an idea of who's going to be there. Santa Cruz is kind of a perennial team that we always see towards the end of the season in 2A, but for them, it's always been the question of what happens when they finally get to that point in the postseason, because they run into a lot of really good teams, and it doesn't help that their region is not the strongest, and it doesn't give them a chance to really kind of see that higher level competition before they get to the postseason, and it's been a thorn in their side forever in the last couple of years. They have a really good, solid core, with leading off with girls like Tatiana Reyes, Layla Brown. These two, it's always been a good crop of players for Santa Cruz. They've always been able to load themselves up with really good talent, but it just comes down to being able to execute when it matters. And I haven't seen that yet, and I really hope I see it this year. It just depends on how things shake out for them, and who are they going to be the girls that really continue to propel this team forward. And elsewhere around the county, it's just going to come down to who shows up. Casa Grande Union has a chance to get to a play-in. Vista Grande, like you said, if pitching is able to hone in a little bit. It's just going to come down to how the chips fall and what girls and what teams step up. We do have a lot of talent still. It's just going to come down to who develops fastest and who can roll with the punches a little bit more. So it's going to be a little bit of a questionable season for us, but we'll see how it happens, and we'll see what goes down towards the end of the year and who's going to be left standing.
I feel like one of our sleeper teams this season is Maricopa Softball. Little by little over the past couple of years, they've managed to steadily build up. They have a fantastic senior pitcher this season, and I think overall, she's going to be one of our most consistent pitchers. Like I mentioned, hey, we don't have those type of pitchers that are just going to pound the strike zone and blow it past you and leave hitters confused, like, what the heck am I swinging at? Those times are over. It's going to be all about the defense, and with such a young team, a lot of these players are just in their first or second year of varsity experience, so they're still learning. And on top of that, just recently I was out at Poston Butte. Poston Butte is known for having those multi-sport athletes, and because of that, they don't have that one player like other teams do that solely focus on softball and play it year round and just know the game, know what to expect and where to be and everything. And that's kind of a factor all around, is all these girls trying to catch up right now to the speed of the game and everything. So like I mentioned, hey, it's early on in the season. We're looking forward to, once all this is over, all these tournament games, spring break, and just once teams just finally get to play those games every single day, 3 to 4 games a week, and just getting that consistency under their belts, I expect things to kind of pick up. Like David mentioned it, a lot of our teams aren't in very strong regions. Vista Grande, unfortunately, is in the Black Canyon region. We've talked about them and just the non-competitiveness that there is there. Looking at our 3A conference, we have pretty much all of our Pinal County teams in one basket right there. Coolidge, Florence, ALA Anthem South, ALA Ironwood, who am I missing? Santan Foothills. Everybody's just there. They play against each other. That region is up for grabs for anybody. 3A, it still matters if you win your region. The top two teams the top two teams automatically earned a bid to at least the play-in game. So we'll see how that one turns out. AJ, Combs, ALA Ironwood, all these schools are under a first-year head coach. On top of that, it's kind of been a revolving carousel at the head coaching positions. What can we expect from these teams? I don't know. ALA Ironwood lost a fantastic pitcher in Ella Verdine, who was one of our big strikeout pitchers. She is gone. She has graduated. So I have a lot of questions for this season. Hopefully later on down the road, some of these questions will be answered. But for right now, hey, we're along for the ride. I hope you guys join us too. And as always, be sure to check out Pinal Central all season long for all of our spring sports coverage.